It's Labor Day. I've labored. Now it's time to take the day. It's a beautiful September morning, but a change may be coming pretty soon. And we may have winter sooner than we want, which is bad news with the beer flu going around. But I'm going to take this opportunity to get some coffee, a rare opportunity on a Monday morning. The missus is home, and so I don't have to worry about the kids for now. Records.
Like food allergy test a few months ago, and it confirmed a lot of what I had.
Yeah, the weather is really nice, so decided to come outside before I head home. Talk to Jim a little bit. I'm sure he loves that. Looks like the weather's going to cool off, but it's not going to get freezy around here, so that'd be nice. We get into some good days. Walking the dogs at sunset. Parkville would have been here earlier, except a little snafu with the leashes. I had to go get some doggies. Jimmy, come on. The weather is beautiful. Beautiful. Isn't it, doggies? Yeah, they don't know, they're sniffing everything. Look at that sunset. Wow. Downtown Parkville, so pretty at night. Once I got walking, it turned out to be warmer than I thought. Whew, that breeze feels nice. Anyway, we're really late because of the leash situation I had to solve. So I'm going home and eat a little something, and go to bed and start it all over again. Although tomorrow is a school day, so that's different. It's fitting with this weather. It's back to school day. Now we have 3 little ones going to school. Because now we have Luke starting his first day of kindergarten. Right, Luke? Yes? Are you excited?
Yes.
All right. Picture, picture, picture. And the whole family gathered. Here we go. Bus number 3. Or bus number 8. Yep.
I have a kindergartner here?
Yep.
Okay. I want you to sit in C4. You heard your sister? Okay, I want you to sit in C4 with him, okay? Come on. Good morning, everyone.
All right. Have a good day at school.
Have a good day at school. Bye.
Right here.
Come on, Douglas.
Thus begins our new life. Kind of glad summer's over. I'm celebrating a little bit of freedom here. The kiddos are in school, so I'm trying to change my schedule a little bit. So I'm going to try and walk the dogs and do my exercise in the morning. And this morning I'm going to have some coffee. I'm going to see Emily. Yep. Got it ready to go. Mask required. Ugh. It's been a long time since we walked down here. Try and figure out when to do these walks. The problem with this one is I had to stop and talk to Emily for a long time, so that's my downfall. Let me go see what is over here around this campus of the University of Kansas Hospital. Look, I said it right. I was kind of guessing. I couldn't see the sign, but I know they're very picky about their name and branding. Hi, Jimmy, photo bomber. That's pretty cool. Giving me ideas. Maybe we should try this. Wow, just to think at one time, this was the hospital. Now it's grown up to encompass this huge campus. It's so big, I don't even know where it ends. Yeah, speaking of construction, there's a hazard where I had to cross the street. I guess I must have missed the "you need to cross here" sign, but anyway, we are now on the other side of the street and it's starting to rain. Come on, dogs, let's go. The reason I need to start concentrating on my walking or exercise is I really need to walk for my own health. My health is really starting to deteriorate since I got the sedentary job where I sit for hours at a time. And, you know, I can feel my legs like not wanting to move anymore. Like, you know, immobility is not fun. I've tried that. Speaking of which, while I'm kvetching about health issues, my left leg, the one that was damaged when I got hit by a car in Westport, is always cramping up on me. I get these really bad Charlie horses. And so it's like damned if you do. these long walks actually kind of make it worse. But I figure walking is better than sitting and basically waiting for, was it entropy to take its course? And, you know, I don't want that. So let's see if we can keep walking, especially me and my big ass gut Buddha. We got to do something about it. Look at the old Airstream. I love it. Is that the, I think that's the diesel. Those things are rare, and I wouldn't mind. Let's just say I wouldn't kick it out of bed for eating crackers. Actually, on that Airstream, I'm gonna have to look it up. 7.4 liter. And I think that may be the 454 Chevy, which means it's just a huge gas hog. I think the diesel one is like a 4 liter Isuzu or something, which almost sounds a little weak. I miss going to this place. Actually, I miss going to New Orleans. That is one big ass sunflower. I put my head right next to it. It's gonna eat me. It's a man-eating flower. Mine. I'm on a relatively quiet part of the street to conclude this video, finish our walk. For some reason, people look at you funny when you talk to yourself. Come on, come on. As I was saying, people look at you funny when you talk to yourself, so I'm a little shy to do it around other people, but maybe I'll get over it. They're just gonna have to get over whatever. Being them, I guess. So anyway. Now this is coffee weather, but I am not gonna go get coffee. Surprise, surprise. At least not. Maybe. I might think about it. But, and I'm gonna sound all gloomy and doomy talking about this. And I sort of know that not a whole lot of people want to hear it or are going to listen to what I have to say, but again, you know, I've looked at the red with this pandemic. I've done some reading and watched some documentaries and basically seen what I could see on the history of pandemics, and it seems like we have an early onset winter. We had very bad snowstorm, a very early deep dive from like the 100 degrees in some places down to 30, below 30 into the 20s with snow and everything. And this is usually what causes, you know, the spike in illnesses, people getting colds and stuff. But I think that it's also going to cause the pandemic to go out of control. It's already been out of control. The United States is the number one leading country in deaths and infections from this pandemic, and it's all due to a leadership and lack of willingness among the people to just do a few things to protect their lives and the lives of others around them. So I think we are about to pay the price we'll see this coming October. You know, at the end of October, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'd rather be wrong and you know, wrong and alive than, you know, right then. I don't know what I'm trying to say. All I'm saying is that I think it's time to batten down the hatches. A big storm is coming, and that storm is going to be the pandemic really going out of control, the second wave, what they call the second wave. Now, 100 years ago, the second wave was the deadliest wave of the Spanish flu. And it isn't necessarily the disease itself that gets you, the infection of COVID. It's not that. It's a lot like a lot of other diseases. You get sick from it, but it's the secondary things that get you, the bacteria that gets into your body, and, you know, things that are already in your body, and then it interacts with this disease and causes destruction. So I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm just being kind of a hypochondriac of sorts, but I guess the saying goes, in life, it's best to have high hopes and low expectations. And my expectations are that this is going to be bad. And my feeling is that nature is trying to thin out the herd, as nature is wont to do over time and has done many times in the past. The human beings is pandemics. And you can read about every 100 to 300 years we have these pandemics that come along, worldwide contagions, and in some cases it's wiped out a good percentage of human race. Probably one of the worst ones was, of course, the Black Plague, and it's believed that about 60% of the European population died. Not just got infected, but was gone. And that pandemic, if you go to Europe, you can still see it today. If you go visit places in Europe, you'll see places where there used to be a village, and you know there used to be a village there because the only well-built building in the village is still standing, and that was the church. And so you'll see these churches that have been there for centuries still standing, but nothing else around them, like in the middle of nothing. And that's because of Black Plague. And you know, there's an interesting read, I guess, about how we still feel the effects of the Spanish flu today, the suffering that it caused. So these things are no joke. One of the greatest empires at the time spanned pretty much the known Western world, met its end pretty much because of a pandemic. People think that the Roman Empire was destroyed by barbarians. The western half was, but the eastern half was busily trying to reconquer that. Well, what stopped all that? It was a pandemic. And because leadership at the time was hard-headed and didn't want to listen to people, which is a very familiar refrain, they continued doing what they were doing and made the pandemic worse and basically destroyed their own empire, because so much of the population was taken out and they were trying to reconquer the western half of the empire, reconquer it, that they ended up with nothing. They ended up destroying their empire. They taxed it to death, and they couldn't raise the funds necessary to defend their basic borders, much less reconquer new lands. And Eventually, they were conquered themselves because they couldn't raise the money to raise armies to keep going. They had to depend more and more on other people who didn't have their interests at heart. So it's all in the history books. And so anyways, I've gone on too long. It's raining, it's wet, it's cold, and it's early in the season for this. So woohoo! It's hard to believe it's been 19 years. 19 years ago today, I had a space in this building in the back. It's where I was when I found out. It's gonna try and rain on us today. This building was home to Weld Tire and Wheel. Now it's abandoned, and you better be careful walking underneath it because you could get some broken glass raining down on you. Everything's different. It's still the same in many ways. There's a building that I was at when I first heard something bad was happening. My first hint was Peter Jennings was on the radio talking about something very urgent. That building used to be a tire place. I can't remember exactly what, but they did used tires or something like that. Tire recycling, I think. And I was looking for rims. Well, it's crossing over in the afternoon, but unlike that morning 19 years ago, it's wet and yucky. Kind of cool. That morning it was still very much summer and clear blue skies. It was a beautiful morning. But yeah, I was looking for rims in that building for my Subaru that I had at the time. It was a Subaru Loyale. So I'm walking on a walkway that wasn't here back then. And I think that bridge, can't remember, but I think that bridge is all new. My memory isn't always that good. I think there was a bridge here, but I think it was not. I think this one replaced that one. This is interesting. Looks like part of this installation is frames or bodies of airplanes. And I've been thinking today, 19 years. That means if a child was born on that day, would have graduated high school last spring. And I thought, how unfortunate to be born in a time when it's probably one of the worst moments in American history. And then when you graduate school, it's in a pandemic and you don't even get to see your classmates. You don't even get to go to prom. A lot of kids didn't this year. I don't know, I'm just thinking, unlucky. I mean, especially if it was one of your relatives, like your parents or whoever, that died during that. I mean, you know, there are a lot of kids back then probably saw their parents leave for work in the morning and didn't have any parents by noon. That's just really sad to think about. And those kids now are out of high school. Many of them in college, probably starting their jobs, their first jobs in their career. And I don't know. It's been unfortunate 20 years, 19 years. I don't know, maybe it's just this weather. It's making me think all gloomy and doomy. Maybe tomorrow the sun will come out and the world will be a better place, but right now I'm just thinking about such things. I wonder if this street is still notorious for prostitutes. I was told that you could see a lot of prostitutes on this street, which seems weird because it doesn't seem like it'd be very attractive for that. Nothing here but industry. But I don't know. And I was told that, you know, this is a big change of subject, but If you saw the prostitutes, it'd make you think that you really have to be very lonely or desperate to want to be with them. I don't know. Maybe that's a cruel and judgy thing to say. Maybe that was something that was said by somebody that was kind of cruel and judgy. Life has taught me that if you devalue other people, you devalue yourself. So it's best to be humble. Well, this place has moved 2 times in the past 19 years. And it's still going. It's pretty cool. Yep, they still sell the same stuff. I went in, of course. Didn't buy anything this time. This is the state line road. Over there is Kansas, and over here is Missouri. All right. Let's see. Missouri. Kansas. I know this is Missouri because it says KCMO, which is Missouri. I don't see anything over here. It says Kansas. But, yep, this is Kansas right here. Jayhawks, Border Ruffians. Or wait, Jayhawks, Bushwhackers. Hey doggies, don't say I don't ever take you places. And I'm sure there's a cat or a squirrel or something over there drawing our attention. Let me get out of the way of this truck here. That would kind of hurt. What day is this? Oh yeah, 9/11. Well, it's like an adventure coming around here. But it's fun to explore. It's what I was doing 19 years ago. Yeah, look at the old architecture and down here. It's amazing. Everywhere you look, it's just a landscape of urban architecture. These wonderful old faded signs. Well, Britain was here when I was upstairs 19 years ago. You've been here long before that, I'm sure. If I were more sociable, I'd stop in and say hi, but he wouldn't remember me. But yeah, I do remember them being downstairs, and I remember we talked to each other about my troublesome roommate that I had, who caused a leak that leaked into his business. But can't remember much beside that, other than he was a really nice guy back then. Britain, that is. My roommate was a jerk. I like this. Cool. I especially like the little homemade Sputnik. Title of this is Serial Killer. You see the little serial characters have been murdered. Not Count Chocula. No. Oh, it's Captain Crunch is the serial killer. That's funny. Love it, love it, love it. The West Bottoms is all about recycling. My favorite recycling place, speaking of which, is gone. But anyway, it's all about recycling, and people come in with new ideas and try and make them happen, and then move on, and new people move in with new ideas, and just constantly reinventing itself. And it's nice and quiet too. At one time I would have said I didn't like the quiet, but now I'm more into quiet and contemplation and things like that. Anyway, this is my reminiscence of what happened 19 years ago on this day, and where I was and what I was doing. I know no significance to what I was doing. I mean, but in its own way, you know, the world is made up of little tiny pieces, little mini sub-stories of the larger story, the larger picture. And we all are like little dots on a pointillist painting. Each dot makes up the whole And you know, speaking of the hole, there's a hole that was created 19 years ago, still hasn't healed. It'll never heal as long as people remember, and it shouldn't heal, I don't think. But anyway, see you later. Hee hee. The sun is out. I took some vitamin D, feeling better than I did yesterday. Still a few after effects of gloom and doom, but now I'm here to get some coffee, and Saya's already ahead of me. Esteban. Saya has her steamer. Come on, make your crazy steamer face. That's her crazy steamer face. My little thing here so I can see the 16:9 screen. A good thing about coming places like this. See y'all later.
Hey, see ya. Do you have like a channel or something on YouTube?
Yeah, hold on. Let me turn this off. Stop recording. We're finishing out the week by having coffee. Yesterday somebody was asking me about my blog, so that's what happened at the end there. Are you going in? We're gonna have coffee. Coffee house. That records. Mocha.
What's on her phone? Oh, Jack.
So much fun. It's our Sunday Costco run. Been sent to go look for dish detergent. Watch where you're going. You find it? The cart is filling up. We've got children, so they're looking at costumes. Nine. We got costumes. All except for one. We're still looking for the right size for Zach. Here, please.
I want to try that.
No, look. We got the loot. The loot. Now it's time to go home. You can't go to Costco without spending a lot of money, and that was even with a coupon. It's fine.
Okay.